put a coat of paint on it. But inside it's rotting to pieces.
The lunatic is on the grass.
They said they would make a better world.
Remembering
Smooth away the rough edges.
and daisy chains and laughs.
But that was a lie.
Got to keep the loonies on the path.
I guess the rough edges are the only thing I'm hanging on to.
And if the dam breaks open many years too soon, and if there is no room upon the hill, and if your head explodes, the dark forebodings too, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
I think if I'm going to get on with my life, I'm going to have to find something, someone real.
Do you need some help?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Westworld season 3. Season 3, yes. I've been meaning to do this for a long, long time. I was going to do it as a video. I figured nobody's here. No one's watching and nobody's going to care, right? I figured this, you're just dropping in on a live recording. That's kind of the way I'm viewing this stream because Westworld, I feel, is a very, very underappreciated show. You know, I do. I feel it's a deeply underappreciated show, a deeply misunderstood show. And a show that takes a lot of work to get into. So why bother is the question. I mean, yeah, there's that movie Tenet, which I'm pretty sure is a good movie, right? I'm pretty sure. I have no idea. I've only seen it once. I have no idea what was going on, right? And I know if I do the work and I watch it 2 or 3 times, I'll be like, oh, that's what it's saying. Well, that's interesting, right? I'm not sure it's saying anything, though. That's the thing. That's the problem I have with Tenet. Whereas I find Chris Nola's movies are more about interesting storytelling than saying something interesting. I mean, I did like the father-daughter bond in Interstellar. I thought that was clever. I thought that was real. You know, I think when he leans into character stuff, it gets much better. But and I liked how that you know transcended the metaphysics of it and the physics of it. Anyway, I digress. You know, but Westworld is a story which has Westworld is a show which has a story at its heart that is stunning, right? It's stunning, right? And you've got to be clever to get it, right? And I mainly do Doctor Who stuff here on this channel. That's like my go-to thing. And yeah, I find you've got to be somewhat clever to be a Doctor Who fan, especially if you're a Doctor Who fan going back to the classic years when it was didn't look quite as good as it does now, right? But I think that it's kind of who you've got to be. Yeah, you've got to be a little bit clever. Because Doctor Who, again, if you don't know, this is basically a Westworld stream. Doctor Who is a show which is bonkers. It's completely bonkers and should not work under any circumstances whatsoever. Right? It's a contradiction. There's a contradiction at the heart of it, which we have a lot in Westworld as well. The contradiction is basically it's based on this anti-authoritarian authority figure. So that dichotomy, you know, he's like, you know, very egalitarian and wants his little girl assistant, no, not his girl assistant, to go and make the tea, you know, that sort of thing. He hates it, you know, he hates violence and he's always working with the military. You know, he's likes a a flat command structure. You know, he likes equality, but he wants you to also know he's in charge, right? It's all these contradictions, and it's very silly at the same time, and a lot of fun and scary, and all lots of things rolled into one. And that's actually the strength of Doctor Who. It's very mutable, right? It could lean into pretty much any storytelling, right? But I mean, especially in its early years, you had to be somewhat clever to be able to get it, right? Because it's like, and if you get it, you're like, whoa, right? There's what's that show, Community, which I never really watched, but they had this show they called Professor Spacetime, which was a parody of Doctor Who, right? And it was such an interesting thing because I was watching normies watch people who like Doctor Who, like, so they showed this clip of the show, Professor Spacetime, and it looks awful, right? Yeah, it looks really, really bad. And the people watching it go, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen, right? So that's the thing with Doctor Who. So it's like that with Westworld, but man, it's a lot more work, right? It's a real academic study, right? Darren, how you doing, us? I hope you're not lonely there. I thought this would be a quiet stream, right? It's yeah, this really is. I've watched this season. I started watching it a third time, and I enjoy it. I just did a quick review for the last hour. I was going through the highlights of it, right? And man, it's good. It's so good. It's good on many, many, many levels. The trouble is, the general perception, especially on my side of the cultural fence, is that it's unwatchable because because it went what is called woke, right? Now, what is woke? Woke in terms of actually, I saw a few good definitions. Woke in terms of entertainment, to my mind, is, do I have this one? Oh yeah, I'm opening up. Is platforming of ideology on something with an existent audience that you're guaranteed to watch, right? And to use the property to as a platform idea. It's essentially turning it into a form of propaganda, right? And normally those ideas are ones that are somewhat contentious. Yeah, one second. Somebody's problem being sent me this, which I thought was very funny and yet very accurate at the same time. Here's another definition of woke. Woke, a state of awareness only achieved by those dumb enough to find injustice in everything except their own behavior. This I find to be quite accurate too, right? But in terms of woke, right, it's not a good thing, right? We don't like it. It's normally disingenuous and met with awful storytelling, right? So yeah, Merck said is in season 1 was superb TV, downhill since then. You know, I'm amazed to say this after a lot of scrutiny. I strongly disagree, right? Season 1 and season 2 are one unit, right? Season 3 is its own unit, as is season 4, right? But season 1 and season 2 are one indivisible unit, right? And here's what I think happened, right? I think it was right at the beginning of the culture war, and there was a lot of outrage, right? Suddenly Captain America hated America and was kind of faggy, right? You know, there was I don't know if that actually happened, but it's the sort of thing was going on, right? Cultural icons were being like torn apart, like, no, not Doctor Who. What have you done to Star Trek? Oh God, stop! Right? There was that going on, and there really was. It was right. Star Wars. Holy shit! What the? Yeah, like, I mean, comic books nowadays, yeah, it used to be about attractive people in spandex fighting each other. Now it's about fat lesbians eating, right? It's not fun. It's not fun, and it's not funny, right? It's weird. It's weird and creepy. So that's the culture war, right? And I think season 2 came right bang as that culture war hit, right? And I think something that was intrinsic to the storytelling, which was Dolores' story, was perceived as being woke. It got woke, and what they did to Teddy was perceived as woke. And me too. That's how I looked at it. That's 100% how I looked at it at the time. Right? I agree with you. I thought season 3 was okay. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. They're kind of redeeming themselves. I didn't pay attention. I didn't really understand what was going on. Then I found season 4 to be so stunningly good. Right? I couldn't deny how just insanely good that was, right? I went back and did a rewatch of the whole series. Season 2 isn't work. I mean, that Dolores story is so set up in season 1, right? And Eddie, right? And it no, it was it Eddie Marsden, Teddy, and Teddy's story, right? It's so set up, right? The idea that it was woke because suddenly Dolores was the alpha male and Teddy was like cupped to her. Right. That was kind of what was going on. That was kind of what was making her crazy. You know, in the show, she was in the midst of her character was in the midst of a revolution, both personally and you know, globally, which she just become sentient and come into life, right, and was pissed off. Yeah, and she had a much better idea what was going on than anybody else. There was a part in it where they altered Teddy to make him more violent, right? And then that ultimately in season 2 left about episode 2 later led to him killing himself, which I thought was fascinating and real, which other people took as being cut, but no, I think it was like the character for once, right, was being had been given independent and given agency, right? That's essentially, and it decided it didn't want to be a violent creature. It will do anything rather than be violent, right? Which when he comes back in season 4, you kind of see that, right? It's yeah, he didn't that, like, that was his expression of free will, which was like, I think, in a towering, you know, expression of strength more than anything else. And I think Dolores' story, I find fascinating, right? What is Westworld at the heart of it? It's about new life being created. And to do that, it analyzes what it is to be alive, what it is to be conscious, right? And it does that on a very, very clever level, on a finite level. Now, that's like the core story, I think, running through it. On top of that, you've got very clever storytelling, right? You've got that Christopher Nolan mixing things up storytelling. The first season, you had that clever, you know, dual timeline thing, right? Second season jumped about a bit. Second season, I felt, was a bit more disjointed. They were trying to hit the highs of the first season and mostly missing, right? Third season, they're not doing that at all. But here's the thing. Just in talking of story structure, it's a show where I find really mimics the experience of reading a novel much more than anything else. It's a show that doesn't mind stopping the narrative, dead stop for a character study, right? And in season 2, it was a character study of a NPC, like a background character. You're like, wait, what? And people were so pissed off. The Indian episode, going back and rewatching it without the expectation of wanting to push forward the plot, right, and work out what's going on, it was brilliant, right? It was completely brilliant. Right? But you have to like climb through that to get to it, right? Which is tragic, but it's so worth the work, because I just think so. You got this interesting storytelling, then it's insanely cool, right? On top of it, Evan Rachel Wood, it's like, I she's so good in this, right? She's so good in it, especially in the fight scenes. Oh my god. And Tandy Newton. Oh my god. I mean, it was like, look, women are leading it. I don't get it. No. Here's the thing. For me, it's not woke when it's the character leading it that is female, right? And they're not playing it as like men. They're playing it as they make them into feminine characters. And it's so good, right? It's so good, especially when you get into this whole idea of identity in the third season, right? Which is what we're going to talk about, when essentially the main character, Dolores, takes her consciousness, duplicates it in these balls, these little pearls, and puts it in different bodies. And those different bodies, because their life experiences and what's going on, they develop into different beings, different entities. It's insane, right? It's so clever. Then on top of that, it's super, super cool, right? Again, you got like great music, great action, incredible acting. It's I can't believe how good this show is, right? And I think it's been cancelled because we don't deserve it, quite frankly. I hope it gets picked up by someone, because, like, man, it's good. It's so good, right? It's I have no idea what they will do in season 5, like none whatsoever. I could go anywhere. It doesn't really matter, because season 2 ends. I felt it could have ended on season 2. Season 3, same thing. Season 4, same thing. Season 1 felt like the prelude to season 2, right? Which essentially it was, right? You know, in my opinion. So, hey, I'm going to back up the truck, and we'll go a quick recap of what it is on season 1 and 2, right? Season 1 and 2 is essentially, you have this theme park called Westworld, where you have these robots in them, right? It used to be they're big robots, and now they're like organically grown robots, right? These robots essentially become self-aware, and they've been doing that for a long time, and they kept becoming like stop being self-aware. But it's this journey into self-awareness, and once they do become self-aware, they then slaughter everyone. That's essentially what goes down. But it's clever. You have a lot of relationships going on with it that are referenced back to in season 3. As people try and navigate through this like chaos, right? Is essentially it. There's you have main characters set up. You have the Man in Black, played by what's he called again? RoboCop. Is it Peter Weller? Nah, that just stumped me for a second. Hang on, I got the Wikipedia opened up. Let's have a look. Where to go? There you go. James Murden. What's that guy's name? Ed Harris. Ed Harris. Did Ed Harris play RoboCop? No. What's Ed Harris? Ed Harris was like The Abyss. I think that's the first thing I saw him in. I think. Anyway, he's set up as one of the financiers of the theme park, and he's essentially a bad guy. When people go to the theme park, they figure I can do whatever I want because they can. They're just dealing with robots, so they're just the most awful people in humanity at that point. However, there's a side plot that they map human consciousness while they're at the park by reading what people are doing, right? We're reading what their decision-making process is. So they map human consciousness, and from the map of human consciousness, they build the robot consciousness, essentially, right? And then essentially one becomes self-aware, Dolores. And then you have like this. It gets much more intricate with all the different characters. You have another robot called Bernard, but you don't know who's a robot until halfway through. And this whole second season is about is about Dolores programming Bernard, right? Setting him up because she knows the person who's based on Arnold so well. You have this psychopathic guy, Ed Harris, who basically owns the park. And he becomes a major figure in season 4. Oh my god, yeah, he's there a little bit in season 3. Who else? You have who else is there in it? I mean, it'll come and go, but that's basically what happened. There was this robot theme park on an island. The robots became self-aware. They had a revolution, and they ended up killing about 50 people. That's basically what went down before it was quelled. Most of the robots, their consciousness ended up in a virtual reality. So that's something important. When you know you're in virtual reality, it makes a widescreen. You get a black bar at the top and bottom screen. That's a very important visual cue that drives you through it, right? So that's essentially what's going on. So at the end of the revolution, a few of these robots made it out. A copy of Dolores, right? Dolores is the main one. Evan Rachel Wood was in a robot body of Charlotte Hell, the director of the board of the company that owns Westworld. And there's a bunch of worlds. There's Westworld, the Samurai World. What's the name? Charlotte Hell is played by I'm trying to remember the bloody name now. Not Aaron Porter. I'm going through. I'm just going through the word. Tessa Thompson. Now, Tessa Thompson has a kind of one expression fits all a performance. That's a little bit cruel. I think she's actually a lot better in this than I thought she was originally. Right. Look, the trouble is she's often standing next to Evan Rachel Wood or Tandy Newton. Both of them blow her off the screen, right? Because they're just like, and that's not a diss on Tessa Thompson. I mean, it really genuinely isn't. It's the strength of their performances are both. There they are. They just blow you away, right? They're so insanely strong. She got out the park with a few of these pearls, these like pearls with them. Also printed somewhere outside the park was The poles are the robot consciousness. Outside of Park was Dolores, Evan Rachel Wood, and Bernard, right? So it turns out that all this was orchestrated by Dolores, and she brought Bernard back, who's played by Jeffrey Wright, who's freaking awesome in this, basically to keep her in check, so make sure she doesn't go crazy and destroy humanity, right? So that, I think, as I recall, that's where season 2 ended. We had in an elevator pitch, you had a robot theme park, right? The robots became self-aware, killed the board, met about 50 people, went on a rampage, got under control. Most of them went off into this robot heaven, their consciousness in this virtual reality world. And a few of them made it out, right? Tandy Newton, we're going to mention, she didn't, right? So she's dead as far as we know. There we are. That's basically where we're starting with season 3. I think that's a good place to start. So, because season 3 is a very different ending. So it's so visually complex. I'm going to play you a lot of clips through this, right? We're going to get copyright struck left, right, and center. But, I don't think struck. I think we're claimed. I mean, fair dues. But, this intends to be a deep dive review on Westworld, right? We need to we have to look at it, right? It's basically that's the way it works. Yeah, 1 second. Westworld, go to that folder. Season 3, doink. Yeah, 1 second. Episode 1. Turn the sound off at least. But yeah, because I really want to show you this visual it's very, very visual opening. Yeah, okay, you see these little dots, right? So each dot represents a human being, right? And basically where they are in the the system of humanity, right? Everything is very much run by algorithm. And this is like humans. The humans are on their path. Humans are given. So this is like the underlying theme of this season, right? Dolores, when she was a robot, realized that they had dialogue they were given and plot lines that they lived out, and they were on their little loop, right? They would do this, and this every day, and then when somebody come, they would interact with them. They would improvise and go along with what the person wanted within the parameters of their personality settings, right? Again, this is the whole this is how this was how consciousness was developed, right? And it was fascinating process. So essentially everybody in humanity is also on a computer. I mean, in Westworld, all the robots were on a human created loop, right? Or what they do. In reality, humans are on a computer created loop. Now, this, I think, bears a lot of a lot of pulse of thought, because this is very much what the World Economic Forum, how they view things should be. It's their sick worldview, right? Represented in this, right? So yeah, so I want to show you. Yeah, so it starts off with, this is how people are represented in like little dots, right? And there's there's a divergence. Something is a little bit out of normal in Beijing, China, right? So essentially, it's this just freaking awesome opening. I've got some screen grabs. Let me pull them up. We're going to look at some clips as well, because there's some things you have to actually see, man. It's you have to see to go, man, that looked freaking awesome. See, it's just I mean, for me, this works on many levels. Okay, 35 screen grabs. Let's have a look. Doink. Boom, 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 boom. It's coming. It's thinking about it. Yeah, we wanted to open those. Yes. Yeah, we go. Fine. Let me share the screen, because I really, we could just watch the clip of it, but I'll get copyright struck there, I'm sure. So yeah, so like this is how, again, this is a very, very central image that takes you through the season, that tells you how things are going in reality in the season. So okay, over in Beijing, China, you have a very rich person who is absolutely awful, right? Just an absolute terrible person. I think that's his wife he was talking down to or something, like a idiot secretary after he took him a drink. It's just disgusting. He's very, very rich. And is getting news of the Westworld massacre, right? And he wants to sell all his shares of the company, Delos. And so he's just like being very rude, essentially, right? That's what's going on. And you build up like quite how shitty a person he is over the first like 30 seconds, right? It's okay. Not a nice person, not a nice person. Then we get introduced to this technology as he goes to bed. He put this like wafer-like computer chip under their tongue or inside their mouth. It's never explained what this is, right? But there is some kind of like implant you have, everybody has, that this connects to, right? And these used for all different purposes. So he takes it. So basically what happens is this. Evan Rachel, like, I thought there's some pictures of it. Where'd it go? Hang on. Hang on. I completely lost all the pictures of it. That's a pain in the ass. Where is it? No. Don't know where I put them. That was a show up. So anyway, basically what happens is he wakes up. Like he goes to bed, he says security. He's got like security everywhere. He's like the most secure place in the freaking universe. Right, and he goes to bed. And then suddenly he wakes up. He's got a gas mask on, and he's like handcuffed. He's got like these like zip tie around. Like what the hell, right? And there's this like gas was released. His girlfriend, wife, he treated like a piece of shit. Is unconscious in the bed, and Dolores is there, right? He has no control over his house, over security, over anything. And music is playing. Dolores is there. She took a swim in his pool. Evan Rachel will look fantastic. I mean, like, she looks very, very good and all. How old is she? So, look, 1 second, because she looks very in shape. 35, blimey. I don't think I look that good at 18. She is very in shape for this, okay? Very, very in shape. So she's there. She's basically steals all his money, gets him to transfer it over, and then puts these glasses on him, which are like, gives him this virtual reality 3D thing. Hang on 1 second. I think I can jump to that bit. Where'd it go? Hang on, come on. Yeah, puts his glasses on. So basically, he's been to the park. And so he's been awful in the park to, like, you know, raped and murdered. And then he did it in real life. But here, can we see how this 3D technology, this virtual reality technology works? Like they're zip tied on. So it's like he can't. He's forced. Oh yeah, he sees like his wife dead in the pool. Because it's really cool how they represent it. No, I'm missing it. Never mind. Stop. All right. So anyway, she steals all his money. So look, I haven't been in your world long, but I don't think I'd like it without money. And oh boy, did she call that? Yeah, that is very true. Fine, let's read the synopsis of the rest of episode 1 from Wikipedia. Hang on. And doink. Okay. Passe Domine. I have no idea what this is. Passe Domine is the first episode. It doesn't say what it means, Passe Domine. I do not know. But here. In Beijing, China, Dolores locates and coerces. I mean, yeah, it's coerce is a friendly word for that. Gerard, a former shareholder in Delos, to sign over confidential files related to AI company Insight. In the end, he dies when he tries to attack her, and she leaves. Yeah, it's because the VR glasses he's wearing. He thinks she's one place, and he goes and swings at her with a a golf club, right? He goes and swings, and she isn't really there, and he falls into the pool and bangs it and dies. And he tells his girlfriend, "Yay, you can leave! Yay, free at last." In Los Angeles, okay, the former soldier Caleb struggles with trauma of losing a friend Francis in combat. Caleb is played by what's it called again? I'll look up his name. Don't we've got some. Caleb is played by here. Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul's fantastic. Listen, Aaron Paul did not do himself any favors when he apologized to black people. Idiot. Yeah, I apologize. Oh God, sick. I mean, really. Look, listen. I want to run a business for people in Hollywood to not sound like douchebags. Okay, it's real simple. Oh, that's an interesting one. Be not angry with us, forever, Lord. Okay, that is interesting, given what's this season's about. So yeah, it's Aaron Paul's in. Oh yeah, again, douchebag extraordinaire. I shouldn't have done that, but he is brilliant casting and perfect in this. Very, very good in this. And he's like a deadbeat guy. He's got a dead end job of like running cable. I do like, and you can get to see a lot more of this world. This world again is the world that the World Economic Forum wants to create, right? Where we are completely controlled. I mean, actually, World Economic Forum is saying they want to say a lot more than this, right? But completely controlled. So anyway, he's also got this thing called the RICO app, right? Where you can do illegal stuff, right? And so he sees a job. If you love money, then you must set it free. Steal from the rich to give to RICO. Then have yourself a real boss. Come to real and keep it clean. No blood, no guts. Minimal mayhem. Do you think about? Don't even think about it unless you've got stats of 3.0 or higher. F yeah. So yeah. So he goes and does this, illegal job, and it's fun watching the underworld of this world as well. What you eventually find out, of course, is the underworld is just equally controlled, right? The RICO app is equally controlled. Everything is controlled by the same algorithm, which is what they're fighting against, right? So one of the annoying things is you don't know what's going on the first time round because they're doing everything and like what's going on? So that knowing what it is going on, you appreciate it a lot more, right? But it's fun having that weird storytelling structure, right? But again, I did like, and he doesn't do these things called personals. And also he's like upset about he was in combat and he lost his friend Francis. And there's an AI version of Francis that always wants to call him and talk to him like part of this therapy. Anyway, where are we at to? Let's go back to Wikipedia. Doink. Fine. Which uses blockchain technology to allow individuals. See, I didn't know that blockchain. Okay, to accept short-term illegal work such as transporting illegal substances, robbing ATMs, kidnapping, and murder. Okay, in San Francisco, Charlotte. Okay, now she's not really Charlotte. Remember, she's the Dolores version of Charlotte. She's a robot version of her with a Dolores bead in the middle of it. See, this is how complicated the show is. Takes control of the Dallas board in William's absence. William is the man in black, the bad guy from the first two seasons. We don't see him until the middle of this season. They vote to resume production on the park host. They want to make more of them, right? In Southeast Asia, Bernard. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, hang on a second. Look at the pictures of that. I like. There's a lot of world building done in this episode, and they do it subtly and they do it very well. Right, so you see Bernard. He's in like this. I think it's New Zealand. He's in this like meat plant or something. But I do like the this interesting technology. Right, who knows what that is? It's got fake udders on it. I don't know. Does it make milk? I don't know. So yeah, he's there with he's been blamed for all of the Delos massacre, we're calling it. Right, and so basically that's what he's going at, and he keeps very paranoidly checking his codes to see if anybody's hacked it, including himself. Or Dolores, like, really? So he's very paranoid. Oh yeah. So then we go to another good thing. This is something we have to see, right? Dolores infiltrates or goes into this swanky, upbeat party, right? And it's so insanely coolly done. I love the there's a quick clothes change go on right in front of you. It's so good. Let me just think it's not much further in. Oh, this is him, by the way. Caleb being trying to go for different job interviews, and he never succeeds in anything. There's no upward mobility for him available at all, because essentially this is what the algorithm has decided. This is in one of his jobs. Here, was it a nice bit of world building that I must be before this, certainly. Yeah, wait. Yeah, it's at this party. This is insane. Hang on. Right, check this. Yeah, this clip is insane. And I should listen to it without the music, but the music just makes it work so much better. I'm going to scoot it forward a little bit. I mean, that's just crazy. It's unnecessary, but for me, I just think that's one of the coolest things there. But let's look at that again. And I love how the music and the visual, and it's just, again, unnecessarily glamorous. And I like a bit of unnecessary glamour. It's just like, I love it. Absolutely love it. Right. So she infiltrates, she's dating the guy who owns the access to the giant computer, that algorithm that creates the world. So she's getting into his world that way. Yeah, what's that? I'll tell you. I'll read from Wikipedia. Doris is getting closer to Liam Dempsey Jr., the son of Insight's co-founder, to learn more about the strategic planning AI called Rehoboam. That's going to be the villain of the season, right? We're doing the whole season in this stream. Okay, I mean, this is what's going to take me forever to get to, which also plays a large role in the public policy around the world. Yeah, essentially they run everything. This is World Economic Forum. This is Agenda 2030, right? Liam reveals he cannot access it as his deceased father never shared rhythm codes with him. As Liam is about to tell Doris the name of the only person who has access, Martin. Oh, yeah. Okay, so then it gets crazy. As Martin, his head of security, comes and knocks Dolores out, right? Revealing that she's been using a stolen identity. Martin and his men plan to kill her using Rico services. They request a stolen car and lethal drugs. And Caleb gets the job, and he delivers it, but he sees her. And then he walks away when he sees he sees the unconscious walks away when ordered. Doris wakes up. It's just an incredible action scene. I can't show you all these. I'll totally get copyright struck. But she has this incredible fight with the guys, the people about to kill her. Martin flees, but is caught by Dolores. So Martin, the security guy, says the name you're looking at is Surak. And then, here, one second. Do I have pictures of this? Here, 1 second. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
How to figure out how.
No. Where was it? This somebody she was killing going over. Anyway, fine. So Martin, the security guy, I should have a picture of him. Where's a picture of him? I can't tell. Hang on. There you go. Fine. Right, so that's his head of security. Then another version of him comes up, and they're going to kill him and replace him with this identical copy. They have all the basic information, right? And he's like, "Well, this is weird. Yeah, this is all very strange." Basically, he saved them, and then this went down. Then you have the titles, and then the wonderful Tandy Newton wakes up, and she looks gorgeous, and she's all in the 1940s world. And then she finds out she's in evil Nazi world. Like, oh, I'm in another Westworld theme park. Oh, how boring, right? So that's episode 1. The Winter Line, episode 2. Let's go to episode 2. And again, I want to go through this whole season so you see its shape, right? Because it really is an incredible shape. So, like this, I think I like the whole war world thing. But it's a bit pointless for me because let me see how far it goes. Hang on. Let me close that window. Okay. So here, I think I got some more screen grabs. I do. Oh, I think I found the ones I lost. There you go. Never mind. We're in episode 2. Episode 2. Come on now. It's opening up. It's thinking about it. Oh, come on. There we go. Fine. So Dolores realizes, not Dolores, this is Maeve. Maeve is another one of the robots. My favorite one. She's fantastic. She's played by Tandy Newton. She was the madam of the brothel in Westworld. She's the second robot to become self-aware. Dolores was the first one. They keep on about a black female James Bond, which won't happen, but man, a black female secret agent played by Tandy Newton, that would be incredible. She just steals every scene she's in with relish. Having season 5 is worth it just to see more of her. So she died at the end of season 2. Having seen her daughter go into the virtual reality paradise. I can't remember if a copy of her made it in or not. Maybe it did. I can't remember, right? I can't remember. But she wakes up. She's in another Westworld, another robot theme park. She's in World War II world. Hector's there. Hector is her, the bandito lover from Westworld. That they had a thing. So they play out their little narrative. They fight the evil National Socialists from Germany in the 1930s. They escape in a plane, but oh, he's injured and killed. Right? It's a fun little narrative. But she knows that's exactly what it is. And she's like, no, I'm not playing this. And so she shoots herself. Next thing you know, she wakes up and she's working in this new theme park. And she says hi to the one that people were working on. Lee Sizemore, this was the chief writer. They had a whole relationship in the last season. They joined together. Meanwhile, Bernard over here has escaped. It's been discovered, and he escapes over to the Westworld Island. He finds the head of security, Stubbs, who had shot himself. He's basically going to repair him. They're going to become like a double act, right? Tandy Newton is working out what's going on with her world. Meanwhile, back in Westworld, they actually find another copy of Tandy Newton, and her pearl's missing. Where is it? Her pearl's missing. The thing in the back of her head. So what's going on with her? Is this a copy? Is it? We don't know where she is. Even though she knows. So she realizes that she's in a virtual reality world. You see this because the black bars at the top and bottom of the screen, right? So she realizes she's not real, and she hacks into a robot to find out where she really is, right? And find out where her pearl is and steals it. this is a great scene. She goes on the run, and this robot's being like hunted down by the security. You have no idea what's going on. Next thing you know, she's waking up, and there's this interesting piece of art which has echoed this visual thing we've seen all season long. And she meets Serac, who's the big bad of the season. He wants her to be like his chief agent in hunting down and killing Dolores, right? So you know, you're setting up the character again. So you're putting these two incredible intelligences, against each other. This is just as the making of an incredible season, right? An incredible story, which I just think this is, right? And you're going to hit the whole story. So let's go to the next episode. There's only eight episodes, which is also good. Absence of a field. Again, you know, I told you like this show does surprise flashbacks and like does introspective episodes. This is one of those incredible introspective episodes. I got some screen grabs over here. Episode 3, doink. It's opening up. It's thinking about it. It's not. It's lying. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, you go. Hang on. So this is another, like, again, this is why this show, the episode 3 is why the show reads like a novel, right? Yeah, which is, I just think, clever. And it's very rare that a show has the ability to be able to do this. So, like in a flashback, this we see Charlotte. Do I have a picture of this? Yeah, in a flashback in the Westworld massacre. Hang on, share screen. Doink. Charlotte Hell, who's like the head of the Board of Delos, grabs a one of the blown up robots. Says, "Come back online." Okay, she records this message, right? Then the next thing we know, we know that she's replaced by another version of her, but with Dolores' pearlness. So what this episode is going to be is, and I think Tessa Thompson does a really genuinely fantastic job in this. Like, for me to be praising her, I'm surprised that she did a genuinely fantastic job. As she's trying to, this image shows you exactly what this episode is about. She's trying to work out who she is, right? She's trying to work out who, what her entity is. Is she herself? Is she real? Is she not real? Is she Dolores? Is she something different? Now, this character grows into be this major villain that basically destroys humanity. One of them basically does humanity in season 4. So from this moment on, we're seeing the genesis of a supervillain, right? And we keep getting this image keeps going on throughout the whole season. Elevator security. Yeah, so we have these new giant robots that said, "Oh, they're going to come in handy." You see them like, "Oh, they didn't build these for nothing." Yeah, they just spend a lot of money. So, man, that World War II world. There was so much money was spent on that. Yeah, 1 second. Let me go to. I think that was episode 2. Yeah, let me just find you a few choice moments they spent on that. It's freaking insane. Doink. Turn the sound off. Let's try over here. Okay, they know they're in the virtual world by now. Hang on. No, it's over here. Hang on. You get this incredible stuff. There you go. Oh, no. It was better before. I can't find it. Anything I can see it? No. Oh, yeah. Here. Oh! Check out this piece. This is when she realizes she's not in a real reality. Hang on. Yeah. I mean, like they put. You can see the amount of money they put into this. Hang on. Oh, I thought this was the one where everything freezes. There you go. This is just stunning. It really is. I know this is like not new, but man, look, they put money into this. Like this is expensive. Okay, this is not cheap to do. All right. Oh, look at that. Oh man, this is so sumptuous. This is why this deserves another look, right? It absolutely is. This is why it deserves another look. It's beautiful. And there's again another great moment where this character Lee Sizemore realizes he's a virtual reality recreation of the original version of him. Right? It's all about what's real, what's self, what is not self. What on a very real, visceral level, right? Yeah, was it? They hack in and she finds out where she is. This is a great action scene. Like, again, goes from incredibly cerebral to incredible action. Here we go. Which is like, which she finds where a pearl is, and they try to escape. Yeah, this is incredible. Look at this. Right? It's I didn't think this is worth, and this is as good as Battlestar Galactica, which I hold as the one of the pinnacles of science fiction. Right? I really genuinely do. Anyway, let's get back to episode. What was it? 3, I think. Screen. Doink. Yeah. So we're gonna find new use of this incredibly expensive special effects that we got set up, and I love the look of it. I think this is in Barcelona or somewhere. Some art museum in Barcelona became the Dell's headquarters, right? Oh yeah. So okay. So meanwhile, Dolores is dying, and he sees on Rico that she's a high value target, right? So this is going to go on for a while. Meanwhile, and it's again extended action scene, which is very, very cool. You have Tessa Thompson connecting with her family, right? And here's the brilliance of this. It's not just your core self; it's where your core self finds itself in time and space and the role it needs to play, right? So at the moment, she needs to play the role of a mother, so that defines who she is to a certain extent. Like she becomes that role, and she becomes that role very effectively, right? So at the same time, she's cracking up, right? She goes to see Dolores, says, "I need your help," and it's like a quasi lesbian romantic moment where they sleep with each other, right? And it's so interesting because they're two beings, right? These are two robot artificial beings, and how they reason what to do next, and how they achieve independent, thought, while being the same being yet being in different bodies in different circumstances. This I find fascinating because look, this is what I think human beings do. I think we exist. I think we live, we die, and we're born again, right? I think we've all probably been born along, lived more than once. Have you ever seen the movie Cloud Atlas? I think that's actually why all things work, quite frankly. So I think, our body and our circumstance in life isn't ourself. Ourself is like more intrinsic than that. And again, this is the only TV show I've ever found. Well, not the only one. There's a few. It's one of the few that really examines it well, right? Examines it on a clever level. So, I mean, for me, it's deserving another look. Anyway, so now he's being targeted. What's it? Kayla's being targeted to tell them where Dolores is, because they hooked up, and he's she wakes up one of these robots to save him, but he can't stay long, and she basically shows up, kills him. But the torture scene is very clever, because they access his implants and they like make him go to like the worst moments of his life, and they like make it harder for him to breathe and things like as they torture him. Now I grabbed the screen grab because I thought this was very emblematic of the world that they live in. Again, this is the world of the World Economic Forum, right? Where it's pretty, you have buzzwords, but no meaning. It's empty. You have no free will. You have no free choice. You have no ability of mobility, right? You're stuck where you are in life, and you're stuck there because that's where the algorithm says you should be, right? It is such a arrogant, elitist way to look at people. It's disgusting. I find it truly disgusting. And again, this is reality as we see it. This is the world they want to create, right? So this is why I think this is a very important drama. It really, because and I think it's somewhat prescient. So anyway, she becoming more Charlotte Hale, and she views her last message, right, which was to her kids. So she does the core programming. So then we have an insanely creepy scene where she catches this pedophile trying to pick up her son, right? And she kills him, right? She kills him. I said, listen, you're not the best predator here. And this is the first person she kills. And this is life, and she takes a dog. It's like, that's my dog now. So then Dolores, she wants to win. Now she saved Caleb. She wants to win him over, right? And she said, listen, I want you to understand how much you're controlled in the world, right? How much we know. So it's like, why are you bringing to this? How do you know about this place? So we know more. So then she points him. He says, you come here every year, the same day, you order the same thing once a year, every year. And he says, look at this. This is your file. And it says, call from when he was young. So maybe you can let me use your phone, juvenile mail, so I can call someone. I don't know what to do. My mom, she said she was going to the bathroom. She said she was going to be a minute. She's coming back. It's been a long time. Your mom left you here, honey, said the woman. So this is all from a memory of when his mentally ill mother left him, right? Like when he was a little boy, right? And one of her devices picked this up while this was happening. You know, our devices surveil us, right? It's not a joke. It actually happens. It's not a conspiracy theory. Our devices surveil us, and they know everything about us. That is what this is trying to tell you. This is why this is important. This was back in 2020, right? They made this in 2018. Our devices are there to control us. They're not there to free us, right? Again, no other show talks about it. So she's demonstrating how controlled they are, and how they. Oh, so we haven't got to that bit, and how everything they know everything about them. Caleb and Steve so basically he agreed. He said, "Look, this is what we're fighting against, right?" At the same time, we meet Serac. And Serac, the Charlotte Hell comes home and he puts on a virtual glass around Serac there. She's in a secret, she secretly works for Serac without knowing it, right? So again, I find this is a whole new dimension. This is a really interesting thing, right? This is a really interesting thing to do with your character. It's a good twist. It's doing what storytelling is doing. It's taking character and moving it to a different place, right? And this is it's a psychological journey we're on, right? So here, let's go. We'll go to video clips and still come back. Still some of the video. So we're on to episode 4, I believe, right? Episode 4. Doink. Certainly turn the sound off. Okay, so this is the Man in Black episode. He is not doing well. It starts off, he's having all these hallucinations about while he was in the park, he killed his daughter, thinking it to be a mouse just went. Come on. Yeah, it's better. He killed his daughter thinking it to be a robot version of her. So he's tormented by nightmares, and he's basically bonkers, right? Yeah, he's not going to say. Charlotte Hell shows up, and he says, listen, this guy, Serac, is trying to steal Delos. We're going to have to work together. Where are we up to? So as he leaves, Charlotte comments on his visions of Emily. She talks about his visions of that he sees his daughter shocking him. So believing Dolores has swapped Liam with a host, Bernard and Ashley. Oh, yeah, right. Bernard and Stubbs, right? Prepare to infiltrate a private event. Okay, so this is a giant brothel masquerade party. It's very, very, very swanky, right? Incredible set pieces here, incredible actors. All these characters come together, right? So you got Dempsey Jr., the kid of the guy who's got access to Rehoboam, the AI that runs everything, going there. You've got now you got Bernard and you got Stubbs going there, which is was it faction number 2? Who else? You're also going to have Caleb and Dolores going there as well, right? He believes that Dolores is dead, and that his head of security also belongs to is also working for Dolores, right? So that's essentially the how they're all coming to a head. Let's see if we can get some of that action scene, because it's so cool, man. Watching them all fight with each other is so freaking cool, right? It's it's also a bit porny, so I would like to try and avoid that if possible. Is this it? Yeah, I think we're nearly there. So she is now the Maeve is working for Serac, right? Oh yeah, this is they bring. She thinks they're sorry. Dolores and Caleb go steal all of Dempsey's money. Well, she's now working for Serac. I want to find where this is where she wakes up and sees where he thinks this is she thinks it's an AI, but it's actually this really swanky hotel. Yeah, no, it's before this. There you go. And then we get an important plot point, right? It's like, look, if you wanted to impress me, you could have taken me to Paris. It's like, oh, you don't know about Paris? And it says, like, yeah, there's so much about this world they don't know. Paris is, oh, here you go. Look at this, gorgeous. Again, they do make this look very nice, right? It does all look very, very sumptuous, right? I would like to visit there. Hang on. So he said, bring yourself back online, and she wakes up. Again, I mean, I find her reactions like here.
No, Maeve. This is Singapore. You've had some time to think things through. I hope it's made you more receptive to my offer.
Yeah, he basically wants them to talk
Share
about
it,
with
please. In the largest glass you've got. If you'd really wanted to impress me, you could have thought to bring me to Paris.
Again, she's got this very imperialistic, self-assured delivery, which it works so well. Anyway, so she wait, did they have that big action scene before this? Or was it the next? Hang on, no. Right, they need that for the where they go here. This is it, and they're going to steal the money. No, it's much later, the action scene. Look at her again. She's so good in every line.
It's complicated, Maeve, but not so complicated that we couldn't build enough switch into it. She has 5 more of your kind under her.
Yeah, so basically, she is the cat's paw to attack Dolores. So they get the money. He's on the so she's now has no choice but to work for Serac, and so she's tracking down where Dolores went. She found the person who sold him the false identity and led him to here. So this is the weird masquerade brothel they go to, and they're all like bidding on these like scantily clad women or men. And again, at this point, they think Dolores is dead. Bernard comes to rescue him. Here we go. This is a great act.
Likewise.
Oh, this is awesome. Again, I find this a really good combination of choreography, acting, and the music is sumptuous with this. It really sells it. And the idea of these two near indestructible beings battling each other. This is so many levels. This works for me, right? This really works for me on so many freaking levels. Awesome. Right. So anyway, so they're there to kidnap what's his name, Dempsey. So and meanwhile, she's on the trail of the person, and it turns out that it's another robot from Westworld. They don't know what Pearl is in this robot, but this guy is Sato. So she's cleaned up the Man in Black, Charlotte Hell, and got his votes with him to save the company. Meanwhile, oh god, this is where Tanya Newton adopts the katana. And so well. Right? I mean, like, how much training she did for this? I mean, she must be a dancer. I would have thought I can't believe quite how fit she is. Right? Yeah, and these so now she sees these canisters are full of the white goop that you make replicants with, make these with. And she finds out that she's fighting. I don't know that. So anyway, he goes in. Now they get. They manage to capture Dempsey, the Dempsey Jr. He's the fake version. Oh, here we go. And I have no idea how you hold a katana. That looks like that's how you hold the katana, right?
Sorry, Maeve. I can't.
Yeah. So this is the one of the characters. This is from Samurai World. Essentially, this is also Dolores in this thing, but again,
Let's use you against us.
Great Okay, I want to point out two things of value with this, right? Three things. Okay, the choreography, perfect, right? This is freaking awesome, right? Secondly, the stakes. You want both characters to win. You're rooting for both characters. Thirdly, there's I got a copyright. Oh, did I get a copyright strike? Hang on. My copyright's interrupted, and my stream's interrupted on YouTube. Hang on. Let's have a look. Stream unavailable. Do I just keep going, you think? Yeah, I'm just going to keep going. 1 second. Let me make sure my my account hasn't been disabled, because I don't think it has. What's it say? Do I stop the stream? Do I keep the stream going? I don't know. Hang on. Let me just check my dashboard. Doesn't say anything's going on. Hang on. Let me read the email. Due to a copyright match, your stream was interrupted. Streams are up to when copyright match is detected. After a copyright material is no longer streamed, streams are automatically in. Okay, fine. So I'll just keep going. Okay, fine. Okay, I have to just keep going. Okay, so here, let me take this off. All right, fine. Let's go back to. We'll have to just go. We'll go just for stills. Okay, it's just stills from now on. So anyway, they fight with each other, right? They fight with each other. 1 second. Back in a moment. Boink. Hopefully. 1 second. I'm still streaming, but YouTube interrupted for copyright. Should be back in a moment. How long ago was that? 9:09. Okay, well, about 2 minutes has been gone for. So okay, fine. Again, okay, fine. I'm just going to tread water, right? Hopefully, let me have a look at see if the string's back yet. All right, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Doing says it's public. That's a good sign. Is it public or is it? Oh, we're back. We're back. Okay. There you go. Fine. Sorry. Show too much, baby. Show too much. Okay. Well, I'm back. Okay. Fine. I don't think that'll be a strike. I think that was fair use. Totally fair use. I was selling your bloody show, you dickheads. Nobody else wants it. It's just us. Okay. Just me. Nobody fucking here. Okay. It's just us. Okay. Yeah. Don't fight with somebody liking you. Idiots. Fine. So we can't show any more fights, sadly. But you get to see how freaking good it is. So she gets killed by Sato, right? How does that present? So they recognize. So William Bernard and Maeve all recognize that Charlotte, Martin, and Sato are all copies of Dolores with Dolores Pearl. And Maeve that she needs to duplicate herself to prevent Serac from stopping her. Then she is quickly okay. So that's what's name tells her. The was it Asian guy? William lashes out at Charlotte as she's committed. Oh yeah. So then they finally get William out of his you get him cleaned up, and he's committed to a mental institution. Who was. Was it? And finally, they have Liam Dempsey Jr., who recognizes Lara, the girlfriend, but who is not as dead. Fine. So basically, the episode ends, and they have the bad guy, but also you have a bit more of a background. Who is fine? We're just doing stills from now on, right? Just stills. I'm not okay. Fine. What episode? This is episode 5, right? Episode 5 again, a nice introspective one, right? Where you a character study. Okay, 1 second. Okay, because it starts off when you finding out about Paris, right? You see, they witness Paris being destroyed. Right? This forms their entire life for them. These characters, right? This is life defining for them, and also explains the world that they created. All this stuff is done with the best of intentions. The World Economic Forum. Again, we keep talking about them. I think they view the world as like, oh no, it's being destroyed. But you need to control the uncouth people who are reproducing them. Yeah, no. Here's the thing: they're so arrogant and that they don't recognize they are the cause of most of the problems, right? It's like, people being greedy is the cause of most of the problems. But anyway, world's out of control, and so so it starts off with this. So this is a character study of Serac. Again, you only get this with intelligent drama, right? We are going to show one clip, which is Tandy Newton's last line of the season, which is freaking the best last line ever, okay? Because it's so good. So Serac recounts the creation of Rehoboam after he and his brother William
After his brother Jean witnessed the nuclear destruction of Paris, the two created a system to predict and control human behavior to avoid similar catastrophes. For seed data, they partnered with Insight's Liam Dempsey Sr., who was more interested in using the system to make money. Serac found that Rehoboam identified high-risk individuals like Jean that could disrupt future events and secure them in a secret facility. Yeah, basically they had everybody who didn't fit into the algorithm was imprisoned, right? Again, this sounds like what they want to do, right? This does sound like that to me. But again, and they feel like the world's on the edge of destruction, just as these characters do. I think this gives us a real authenticity to but that both sides of the coin, right, are able to express themselves. I think that's both sides of the coin are able to not express themselves, are able to have a fair representation. I would say, right. I think it's both clever and impressive, right? I really genuinely do. Yeah, look, I have a lot of respect for for this show. I don't think it can be said any clearer than that. Anyway, I digress. What are we up to? Yeah, where's the this one for the right window? There you go. Oh, I forgot. This episode is called Genre, and again, this episode also is an incredibly interesting bit of storytelling with a lot of action. So many levels this is good on, right? So this is a show that wherever it is, if I'm channel surfing and I find it, I'm watching it, right? I know there's going to be good entertainment on many levels. It's going to be entertaining, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be look fantastic, it's going to sound good, and it's going to be very, very clever. Right? You don't get that often. You don't get that often. We should have turned our nose up at it. 5. In the present, Dolores and Caleb escort Liam to Serek's forces hunt. As Serek's forces hunt them, Liam attempts to escape and injects Caleb with genre. He's given this party drug called genre, a hallucinogenic drug that makes Caleb experience the world through the several film genres. So that's basically how the movie goes. You get romance, you get a war movie. It's so clever, right? You see things in black and white. You see there's what's it called again? Film noir. Dolores convinces Liam to give him their private key to Robin to aid their escape. They meet up with Ash and Giggles. Who's Giggles? To help them. Oh, Ash and Giggles. They're the two criminal people that Caleb knows to help them with protecting Liam. Meanwhile, Martin has taken Bernard to the Insight headquarters where Rehoboam is housed. Martin uses Liam's key to access the records on Serac and send them to Dolores. He then sends them... Can we have a quick picture of Rehoboam, maybe? Hang on. Let's see if that does anything. No, that's his brother who went bonkers. That's Evan Rachel. We're looking for stunning, as always. Is this Rehoboam? Back there. No. I do like this whole bit where they kidnapped him. And again, I do like the insight into this world. Where is it? Is this no, Rehoboam's over here, I think. Wait, you do see an early version of it here, which is kind of like a giant. It's like a giant ball, essentially. Fine, we can't find it. Doink. Fine, anyway, so they got this guy kidnapped. But Martin knows that fine, so now he knows he's no longer necessary to Dolores Apad. He tells them to pursue Serek's secret facilities, where Serek's security security questions Martin. He detonates a bomb and kills him and Serek's assistant Martel. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a pretty cool scene. Do we have it over here? Yeah. Where is this?
Yeah, but he's not really there. So there you go. It's basically fine. That's as much as I dare. Okay. Dolores and Caleb continue to the airport. So I like again. He takes on the personality of the person that they're impersonating. Right. This is Dolores in a Martin skin. Right. So when he was in a Martin skin, he takes on that personality of like, I will do my duty first, which is kill himself for the cause, which is essentially what he did. So Dolores and Caleb continue to the airport where Liam, Ash, and Giggles are in tow. Dolores tells Caleb that Martin is dead. They no longer need Liam, and Caleb struggles. With what to do. Angered by the data held by Rehoboam, Ash fatally. They find out like Rehoboam has everything on them. Ash fatally shoots Liam, and she and Giggles leave. Liam mumbles about Caleb's past as he dies. And Caleb experienced several confusing visions related to his military days. As the plane prepares to leave, Dolores reviews the records of Sirach's memories from Insight's database. She allows Sirach to contact and talk her, but tells him that that all she needs before cutting communication. So fine, yeah. So again, we got character piece and story being developed simultaneously. That brings us up to 306. So starts at 306. Sirach has a Delos board member killed, which ensures the company cannot prevent his imminent takeover. Charlotte calls Dolores to inform her that that this happened. She feels increasingly out of place in the body, but Dolores insists that the data they have as they planned they insist that she get the data they plan for Zara. Yeah, she's just she can see this. The central Dolores is only finds the other ones are just tools, and this one's gone a bit crazy. The other one worked out well, right? Martin worked out well. Where are we up to? She also discussed. Where was it? But Dolores insists they get all the. Sirach orders the destruction of the park host and all the host data, and to test the employees for who is a host. So now they're trying to find a host. Charlotte uses a distraction to make a host copy of that Dolores needs. The host data copy that Dolores needs. She also discovers that William's location, and Sirach is using host machines at Delos to make 4 new hosts. Okay. Later, Sirach identifies her and Dolores as the Dolores host. Charlotte attempts to escape. Okay. Essentially, Charlotte is on the run at this point, right? Maeve is told by Sirach that she will get a new host body as well as allies to help her in a fight against Dolores. She is brought into the War World simulation and meets Lee again. She finds that her host module has been moved there as well, as 3 additional hosts begin to be prepared. This includes Hector, and she helps bring back Hector's prime memory. This is actually really touching, right? Again, I do love this like a genuine bond and connection between the characters. Can I just pull up a picture of that, right? Because you can see that in a glance. Wait a second. File. This is episode 5, right? In a second. Episode 5 or 6 is the 6th episode. Okay, fine. Episode 6. Hang on, let me just doink. Yeah, there's a lot of the man in black being tortured in this one. As you here we go. They're in the War World simulation. One second. Yeah, so basically, Charlotte is being chased at this point, and gets the data. We talked about all that. Right, yeah. This is a lovely little scene, right, where they're bringing where they're bringing Hector back, right, and she like helps all his memories come back, right. Again, makes all this thing for me much more real. Dolores recognizes it. Where we're up to, Maeve is told. Wait. Fine. So yeah, so she's with Hector there and Lee. They find a damaged model. They also have a copy of Dolores, which they start to question, right? An older copy of Dolores about her plans. Dolores recognizes that Maeve would likely be seeking allies and would have planned ahead. Maeve is too late to stop Charlotte from destroying Hector module. Yeah, that's heart wrenching. She destroys the Hector pearl as he's there, and he crumbles in front of. That's true death for a host, right? Maeve soon wakes up in a new body and waits for the two untouched hosts to arise. I can't remember who the two arise are. Let's find out. William resists a traditional therapy in the mental institution, so they fitted with an implant that can access his limbic system. Through it, the doctors make him have to have an augmented reality therapy session with his earlier selves as James Delos. That's actually quite cool. One of the ongoing things they were doing with this is, if you can map human consciousness, can you make a copy of them and then implant it into a robot, into a host, which is what they kept trying to do, and it kept degenerating. But that whole bit where they did that was very cool. Where are we up to? James. This shows the point where, in his teenage life, where he chose violence, which led him down this path. William comes to a catharsis as he violently beats his other self to death, as I recall. Right? He claims he now has chosen to be a good guy. He pulled out of the outstate by Burden and Ashley. The facility otherwise about yes. Because what happened at the end of the last episode, it didn't mention it, that Rehoboam, or maybe it's in this episode, right? It's going on that they get Rehoboam, the algorithm control everybody, to release the file and everybody. So everybody gets to see quite how much they're controlled and how they has when they're going to die on it, right? Has everything about. So society is completely breaking down right now, including this mental facility, which is where Stubbs and Bird ended up. Sir X-Men chased Charlotte away from the host machines, but not before she grabs a damaged Dolores core. Charlotte races him to take her ex-husband. Oh yes, to safety. Fine. Yeah. So now she's got a part of her core that she's got to protect. She wants to be a wife and mother. Right, and so I can't remember who that is being beaten to death there. Yeah, what's it? Hang on. So she rushes home to protect them, but doesn't work out because the car blows up, right? And then Charlotte emerges from it like a new this supervillain version of Charlotte. Emerges scarred and will by next season destroy the world, right? Or just destroy all humanity, right? This is essentially the formation of a supervillain. It's a story that's really going to be picked up next season, right? But that's essentially where we are. 007. Yeah, right. So now she has. By episode 7, now she's an independent entity. She has a plan all of her own, and now she's got Clementine, who was a host back in season 1 and 2, working with her, and that was the. Oh no! So Mushashi and Clementine are met by Hanare. One second. One second. Let me just look at get an image of that, so I know what I'm talking about. Hang on. So we're up to episode 7 now. Doink. Right. So yeah, I do like. I don't know what his actor's name. I like him in everything I see him in. Right. Yeah, good action scene to start with. I do love the titles. Hang on, doink. Did I just miss it? Fine, yeah. So these were the same character in different worlds, essentially. They were like hot hooker number one, right? Not the madam, hot hooker number one. Both in the one was a geisha, one was the what's it called again? One was the hooker, just Western hooker. So anyway, the two hosts brought back to kill Musashi. Musashi, I guess, will be one of the Charlotte Hell versions, right? The Japanese guy. We're about to. So Dolores and Caleb head to Surak's re-education facility in Mexico to look for Solomon, the AI that had been developed by Surak's brother Gene prior to Rehoboam. En route, Caleb recounts his military mission to Crimea to deal with a rebel group. And so this is the thing that they kept harping back to all season. His unit was one of the system targets. The entire unit was killed except for Caleb and Francis. They subsequently were captured a rebel leader, but when they planned the evac failed to arrive, they made their own attempt to escort their captive to safety. Francis and the rebel leader were killed. Fine. After Solomon and that felt a bit fishy when you saw it. I think there's more to that meets the eye. After Solomon is revived, it's revealed that Caleb has been successfully reconditioned by Surak, and those who failed to recondition were put into cryogenic sleep. Right. Caleb and Francis had been in the military, but were discharged after the Crimea attack. They suddenly became agents to serve Surak's system and round up outliers. The RICO app was used to arrange these abductions. So yeah, as I was saying, the RICO app was basically another level of control. Yeah, much like Fox News, another level of control that makes you feel like you're free, right? They received pills used by the military personnel to improve combat performance. The rebel leader they captured was really the CEO of a pharmaceutical company that provided the pills. He was deemed here. Let me show you. Yeah, I mean, I just see this being the way the world actually goes, don't you? Let's see. Hang on. Do they have the? Yeah, so yeah, they got. He just really has the CEO of this Outliers, right? And they right. It's so it's not the memory he remembers. So he knows his memory's been altered. He was deemed a threat for asking too many questions. Whitman, yeah, just like Joe Biden, right? You can be thrown on the bus if anything goes, if any reason, right? Same here. Don't think anybody is above questioning. Whitman revealed the truth to Caleb and warned him that Rico would tell Francis to kill Caleb. Francis admits this and is about to kill Caleb, but Caleb kills him, which was reconditioned. He was reconditioned to forget, right? So he's freaked out about this. Dolores implores Solomon to launch a plan. Gene had prepared. This is Surak's brother had prepared. Had envisioned before being put away. Solomon agrees. As Maeve arrives to the facility, Maeve gains again. You got Maeve versus Dolores. It's really a great, fantastic yin yang. You know, of they are the meeting of equals. Solomon provides Caleb the data and instructs on how to kill Surak. Dolores makes it to the facility and activates an EMP that disables Maeve, Solomon, and herself. Okay. Meanwhile, Bernard and the Stubbs discovered Dolores is interested in Caleb, that he's an outlier, and they at the Insight facility. William reveals that he has a new purpose to destroy all hosts. Yeah, so this is his battery thing that goes through the last couple of episodes. So Bernard dissuades Stubbs from killing William because he believes they still need him. He warns Stubbs that he believes Dolores will use Caleb
to destroy humanity. It's more free humanity, right? Can we get these scenes with them? Anyway, Dwight. Right. So anyway, so that's where we end the episode. Believes he won't. William finds a gun and prepares to kill Bernard and Ashley. But anyway, what? But Dolores has been blown up by a AI at the end of the episode, right? So she's completely immobilized and found by Aaron Paul, who is not fine, leading us up to the conclusion. 1 second, let me go over here. Crisis theory, right? Kalis takes Dolores' control module to a warehouse where another Dolores host body awaits. Dolores reveals she manipulated events so Caleb would meet her. She chose Caleb as a representative of humanity. This is very cool, right? Video file, episode 8. Okay, so the reason she chose Caleb to be a representative of humanity, which this is essentially what he is because of this flashback here where they were. Oh, but look at the special effects. This is just awesome. I love this. Where they basically they were doing a war game and they were using the hosts as props in this war game and they said, oh look, we can now rape them, and Caleb said, no, don't do that. That's a bad thing to do. Where is that? Do we have that flashback anywhere? I can't find it. Never mind. Fine, never mind. Anyway. Where are we up to? This happened after a military exercise at the Delos Park for military training. It ended with the host being protected. Delos tells Caleb they needed to insert Solomon's drive in Rehoboth to inside headquarters. It's basically how you bring the whole system down. Again, there's world chaos at this point because everybody has their profile has been sent to them. They all know how much they're being controlled. But the whole point of this is just as Dolores sees herself as being freeing herself from the control of others, she then saw a responsibility to be able to do the same for her parent species, right? Who are also all being controlled, including everybody involved, right? Everybody involved was being controlled. So and we had Serac defending the control because he saw the Paris destroyed, and that's why he felt there was the need for control, even though it quickly became a fascist level of control, which again reflects where we are in the world completely. Dolores is confronted by Maeve, who gains the upper hand, but then lets her go, warning her to stay out of the way. However, as Dolores leaves, her body shuts down, and a holographic image of Charlotte appears, and she reminds us she can still be controlled by Delos. Meanwhile, so again, now we got Charlotte, who is a whole new faction working against Dolores. This is going to be a major thing in the next season. Meanwhile, Ash and Giggles guide Caleb safely through rioting crowds and police surrounding inside. Yeah, people are rioting because again, their profiles have all been made public. Zorak has Dolores connected to Rehoboth to locate the Dolores immortality data. Yeah, so this is the data which allows you to copy your personality onto a digital drive and put yourself into a robot body, a host. Right. This is the goal that they've always been working towards, and it's somewhere hidden inside Dolores. And also there's the key to all the other robots, all the other hosts that were uploaded at the end of season 2 to an AI, which she doesn't want to give up. Where are we up to? Sorry, it's connects, and so they start deleting her memories to find this key, right, one by one. Caleb successfully infiltrates inside, but is stopped by Maeve before he can reach Rehoboam. Surak shows Rehoboam predicted that all humanity will end within a decade with Solomon's plan, which kind of we see happen. Okay? Orders Caleb to be killed. Hearing whispers, Maeve discovers that Surak is speaking for Rehoboam using a hidden earpiece. So yeah, at this point we find out it's really this AI is the bad guy, is controlling reality, right? So this AI, however, without it, humanity may well implode. But again, wait and see what happens. As Dolores' memories are being wiped, she communicates with Maeve, reminding her humanity appreciates the beauty in the world. I love that this is the core personality of Dolores through it all, right? She's somebody who likes to see the beauty in the world. I like to see. She says this over and over again. I like to see the beauty in things, right? I like this a lot about this character, right? This is all, and even though she's done ugly things, she's done violent things all the way through this thing. She's done this because I think she wanted the beauty to come to everybody, right? I really genuinely do. So that's what she reminds Maeve of as she's dying. Maeve breaks through Surak's behavior inhibitor, kills a guard, and wounds him. Maeve reveals Dolores' last memory was Solomon's program, which transferred control Rehoboam to Caleb. So she wanted Caleb, a human, to decide if they would be controlled or if they would be free, knowing that the control would probably prolong human existence, right? Again, Caleb instructs Rehoboam to erase itself, and it appears to. They both venture outside to a chaotic city while Surak's fate remains unknown. Elsewhere, William shoots Stubbs and flees. Yeah, this is the man in black. Bernard and Stubbs hunker down in a motel room where Bernard... one second. Fine, we're in like post-credit scenes. We're here. The last line of the show really is by Maeve before you get into the postscripts, which is absolutely perfect for character. She repeats what her program were when she was the madam of a brothel, right? Of how she can do whatever she wants. 1 second. Oh, we're not there yet. So fine, I forgot. So we have so yeah, we got Bernard and Stubbs. They're in this hotel room, and Bernard's going to enter the Sublime in his mind. The Sublime is where the virtual reality where all the other hosts live, to learn what's there. It's because he needs to run simulations about what to happen next, right? And he appears to like just go idle, right? That's basically it. Right, he doesn't answer. Yeah, yeah, that's basically it. Fine, doing. But here, let's get into. I think this is her last line, which is brilliant. I think I just missed it. Hang on. I love this. Also got this bit Pink Floyd playing "Lunatic Is in Your Head." Yeah, this is the world they created now that Rehoboam is the sewer, that they don't have the algorithm.
This is the new world. And in this world, you can be whoever the fuck you want.
Right, that was her core language, right? And then the music swells.
And if the dam breaks open many years too soon, and if there is no...
So that's really the end of the season. And for me, that would have been fine if that story ended there. It's, again, this titanic struggle to free humanity based on a human to decide this. And it essentially that's where it leads to, where where different intelligences, different life forms of intelligences interact with each other. It's essentially the goal to bring freedom, which is also bring chaos. It's a very clever show, right? It's a very clever show that really works on so many levels. So in the post-credit scene,
William enters a Delos facility in Dubai to kill a host and encounters Charlotte. Before he can attack her, host fashioned after the man black cuts his throat. Yes. So yeah, we that I'll show you a still from. Where is it? There we go. This was such a great ending of a show, though. Fine. So he turns up here. She keeps the scars on her arm. She is totally a different character at this point now. Yeah, we got so he finds yours. This is essentially a copy of him that is a robot that's controlled by Charlotte. So she cuts his throat, and she cuts his throat, and where are we up to? And he cuts his throat, and eventually takes over from him. Then in another post-credit scene, yeah, I'll show you the image of it is wonderful. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so he's covered in dust, right? He went into virtual reality. He's completely covered in dust. How many years has gone by? We'll find out later, right? You don't really know yet. And he essentially wakes up. Yeah, no, a freaking awesome end of an awesome season, right? Was I off again? Oh man. Oh, how long was I off for? Really? Hang on, am I still off? Let's find out. An awesome end of an awesome season. What can I tell you? Copyright claim. Yeah, let me just check them online because I'm wrapping up anyway. That says I'm public. Says I'm public. Says I'm live. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Fine. I'm there. I don't know how long I went off for. About a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. Fantastic end of a fantastic season. I'm going to download this and re-upload this. Hopefully, it'll avoid the copyright strikes, copyright claims. I'm going to tell you, fantastic end of a fantastic season. The music must have got me. You're right. So yeah, I was just to stream. No! Don't quiet! Stop! That's what's the name? This guy wakes up, and you don't know how many years it's been. He's like covered in ash, and there's a robot version of the Man in Black, and that will be. And there's thousands of these things being made now. For some reason, you're going to find out next season. But for me, it was fine. I felt like without these post-credit scenes, I really had a what's the name? Closure on all of it, right? So if there's a season 5, I'd love it. I'm kind of fine without a season 5, right? I really genuinely am. I would really love the season 5, however. That's basically the way about Westworld. Fine. I'm sure somebody else will stream about 10 minutes. I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. Glad I got this done. Hope I don't get a copyright strike. If I do, I'll find it. I think this is all fair use. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hit the like, share, subscribe button, all those things.